Busman's come in early.
Don't keep your husband waiting, Ellie Mae.
Husband?
Well, I mean husband-to-be.
Now, Granny, you promised you wouldn't go talking marriage right off.
All right. Open the door and let the groom in.
Good morning, Mr. Clampett. Granny?
Howdy.
Jane,
Apparently you were expecting someone else. I can come back.
Oh, no. Come in.
You're just in time for a heart-thumping treat. Guess who's coming?
Cary Grant. Rex Harrison. Paul Newman.
Get hold of yourself. It's Luke Short's boy.
Who?
Well, come to think of it, Granny, I reckon Miss Jane ain't ever seen Luke's boy.
Well, you heard of him, ain't you?
Well, I'm afraid not. Tell me about him.
Well, first off, his pa owns the general store back home.
Oh, yes, I've heard you speak of Luke Short's General Store. Is this Luke Jr.?
Well, his given name is Beauregard, but everybody calls him Bo.
Luke had 13 young'uns, and Bo was a pick of the litter.
Purtiest baby I ever did see. Had yaller curls all over his head.
I remember when he was a boy, his pa used to cut his hair, the girls used to crowd around and scrap over the clippings.
His pa had to take him out of school 'cause the girls couldn't keep their minds on their studies.
And he went to clerking in the store, and Luke's business just doubled.
On Saturdays, you couldn't get close to that store for the mamas and the daughters.
Used to come from 40, 50 miles away.
More than that if they had a ride.
No two ways about it. Luke Short's boy was always looked on as a catch of the heels.
A son-in-law you can be proud of, Jed.
He's here to marry Ellie?
Now, Granny, I ain't heard a word about that, and it ain't fair to get Ellie all steamed up over something that might not happen.
They're here! They're here! Ellie! Come on, Jethro's back with your husband!
My goodness, I'm quite nervous at the prospect of meeting this extraordinary young man.
No need to be, Miss Jane, because in spite of all the fuss that's been made over him, Bo's managed to keep both feet on the ground.
Uncle Jed! Granny! He's here! Come on in, Bo!
Howdy.
Howdy, Bo. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Oh, you old heartbreaker, you! How are you?
Fine, Granny.
This here is Miss Hathaway.
Howdy, Miss Hathaway.
How do you do, Mr. Short?
Well, everybody in the parlor. I'll fetch some cold cider.
I'll get Bo's suitcases.
I'll do that, Jethro. You put the truck away.
Yes, sir.
Well, how was your trip? Your first visit here? Don't you care to talk?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but for all I know, you might be one of them Hollywood sirens. Paul warned me not to answer no questions, 'cause that's how they find out where you carry your money.
I assure you, I am not a Hollywood siren.
Well, I'm glad, 'cause I got pretty nigh $30 sewed into the lining of my suit.
You going in the parlor? I'll take these up to your room.
I'll take them, Mr. Clampett. I brung presents for everybody.
He's a regular fashion plate, ain't he?
Yes, you don't see clothes like that too often.
Of course, with his pa's money, he can afford to be a style setter. You go on in. I'll go up and fetch Ellie.
Oh, let me do that. You go and entertain your company.
Well, thank you. She ought to be ready by now. Granny got her started early this morning.
I'll bet she's excited.
Well, Granny is. I ain't so sure about Ellie.
Ellie Mae, Beauregard's waiting to see you. Are you ready?
Sure I am. Howdy, Miss Jane.
Ellie Mae, what in the world? Why have you done this?
Well, Granny told me to put on a dress because Bo Short was going to ask me to marry
certainly won't ask you if you look like this.
That's what I figured.
But, Ellie, why don't you want him to ask you? You can always say no.
Well, not with Granny around, I can't. Well, Granny's had me and Bo matched up since we was this high.
But you didn't care for him.
He never was nothing but a little sissy dude. I used to beat him up and throw him in the pond. He wouldn't even fight back.
I see.
I sure don't want to marry up with no man that I can whoop.
No, Ellie Mae, whatever your reasons, this will only embarrass your father. We'll think of a more subtle way to discourage Bo.
I can't beat him up and throw him in the pond.
I think we can be even more subtle than that.
Maybe Ellie'd hurry some if she knowed that I brung her a bag of jawbreakers.
I'm going up and get him.
No need to, Granny. Miss Jane will fetch her down.
Well, I ain't waiting no longer. I'm gonna open my present right now. Ah, dog, look at this.
Pa turned me loose at the candy counter.
Milk bottles, chocolate money, red hots, beehives, and my favorite candy bananas. No wonder the girls was always after you.
Now, believe me, Ellie, he'll be much more frightened of you this way. Now, remember, you're a Hollywood siren.
I'll do my best, Miss Jane.
Here's Ellie. Now, come on, let's leave these young'uns alone.
What's the matter, Bo?
I just swallowed a jawbreaker. Ellie Mae, you've changed.
Have I, Bo?
Yes, ma'am. You ain't the girl I was expecting to see at all. Your face is full of powder, and your lips is painted, and you smell from perfume, and I've never seen such a tight dress. My daddy warned me to keep away from women like you.
Did he, Bo?
Yes, ma'am. But he's nuts. Let's get married.
Where are we going?
Outside! I'm gonna beat you up and throw you in a cement pump!
Well, son, when's the wedding gonna be?
Granny, I've been wondering, do you think Ellie really wants to marry me?
Oh, of course she does. What made you ask?
Well, if you hadn't have stopped her, she was gonna beat me up and throw me in the pond.
That's because she's a high-spirited girl, Bo. You want a high-spirited wife, don't you?
Well, I reckon. But I ain't keen on spending my married life in the water.
That's just her way of showing you how much she loves you.
A feller could drown on that kind of love.
Now, don't you worry, Bo. You just keep thinking how beautiful Ellie looks.
Oh, she is prettier than the fresh-caught trout.
Make you a dandy wife.
If and I could just be sure she really loves me.
I never did like him, and I don't like him now. He ain't nothing but a sissy dude. I'm gonna beat him up and throw him in a pond.
That ain't gonna do nothing but get Granny mad and Bo wet.
Mr. Clampett, since I feel that I am in large measure responsible for this situation, I am ready to throw myself into the breach.
What you mean?
Well, when Mr. Short first met me, he assumed, mistakenly, of course, that I was a Hollywood temptress. Suppose I play on that theme and lure him away from Ellie.
Well, that's mighty nice of you. Once you got him, what would you do with him?
Ah, yes, there's the rub. But we've got to get Ellie out of this somehow.
Well, let's start by getting her out of that dress. The more Bo sees of her looking like that, the harder our work's gonna be.
I know just the dress to put on.
Good.
Hey, Ellie, them biscuits you made this morning was just great.
Well, thank you, Jethro.
Look at this rascal. I hit it dead center with 6 shots and didn't even chip it.
Where you going, boy?
I'm gonna ask Bo if he wants to do some target shooting.
Well, why don't you stay here and visit with Miss Jane? Where's the rest of Ellie Mae's biscuits?
Oh, Granny hid him under the sink. She's gonna bury him later.
Oh, I tell you, Bo, Ellie is the luckiest girl in the world to be getting out of Beverly Hills and going back to God's country.
But do you think that someone that's been living in a mansion like this could get used to living over a general store?
Of course I can. I mean Ellie.
Sit down, Bo, sit down. Granny, I'd like to have a little man-to-man talk with this young fella.
Fine and dandy. Go right ahead. I got a hole to dig anyway.
Oh, by the way, Bo, how'd you like the biscuits that Ellie Mae baked?
The what biscuits?
You mean Granny didn't give you none?
No, sir. In fact, every time I mentioned Ellie Mae's cooking, she changed the subject.
Well, I reckon she just didn't want to brag. The fact is, Ellie Mae's biscuits is so special that Granny has to hide them under the sink here.
Ooh-wee, they sure are scrumptious looking.
And the rest of her cooking is just as good as her biscuits.
Nice and crisp.
That ain't your teeth I hear busting up, is it?
No, sir, I got dandy strong teeth. I was practically raised on jawbreakers.
I reckon that brings us to the man-to-man talk. You sure you're in love with Ellie Mae?
You know, to tell you the truth, there is one thing about marrying Ellie that's got me worried.
What's that?
Howdy, Bo. Howdy, Paul.
Ellie Mae Clampett. Now you have gone and showed Bo what you really look like.
I don't care.
Oh, ain't she a mess? I declare you could throw her in the river and skim ugly for 2 months.
Well, that takes care of my only worry.
It does?
Yes, sir. You see, I'm gonna be busy in the general store, and I need a wife that ain't too grand to slop hogs and scrub the floor and clean out the barn. You just gotta marry me now.
Come on, we's going to the pond.
Oh, wait a minute, Ellie. He just had one of your biscuits. He'll sink like a rock.
Where are you taking me, Miss Hathaway?
Just over to the sofa. I have something very important to talk to you about.
But I'm already spoken for.
I'm not going to ask you to marry me. I'm going to ask you not to marry any woman.
Well, gee, what else can a fella marry?
Bo, once in a blue moon, a man comes along who's the answer to every woman's dream. Her secret love, Mr. Ideal. Bo, you are such a man.
I am?
Yes. You're too good for any one woman. You belong to all women everywhere.
I do?
Yes. As long as you're free, they can have a dream. Don't break their hearts.
What'll I do?
Fulfill your destiny. Be a man of the world, a Prince Charming to all the lonely Cinderellas. Be the sweetheart of 1,000 women.
Gee, I'm gonna need a bicycle.
Hey, Bo, you ain't really gonna marry up with my dumb old cousin, are you?
No, he isn't, Jethro. He's going to be a man of the world, a sophisticated international playboy, aren't you, Bo?
Well, I'd hate to break all them women's hearts. It sounds like more fun than getting thrown in the pond, only I don't know how to be a sophisticated international playboy.
Heck, fire, I can learn you.
You, Jethro? I mean, you, Jethro, of course. What better teacher?
Come on, Bo.
What do we do, Jethro?
Well, we go into town and we stand on the corner and we get us some girls.
Is it that easy?
It is when you got what we got. Howdy, ma'am. We's a couple of sophisticated international playboys. Care for a handful of red hots?
Howdy, ma'am. We's a couple of playboys, sophisticated international playboys, that is.
Bo, you got to get to the candy quicker. Let them know we sports.
Well, I'll try, but these city women move awful fast. Howdy, ma'am. How about a jawbreaker?
Good idea.
Jethro?
Yeah, Bo?
I believe I'd just as soon go home and get throwed in the pond.
I want to again, Miss Jane. I don't know what you told Bo, but whatever it was, it sure got shut of him.
Well, I simply appealed to his male egotism and suggested that he reject monogamy and choose instead the more hedonistic existence of a bon vivant.
Yeah, well, whatever that is, it sure got shut of him.
Dad! Get the guns! Get the hounds! That Bo Short has run out on your daughter!
Granny, wait.
We've been waiting since Ellie was 12. Now that she finally got a fella, he ain't getting away.
Oh, dear, I didn't foresee this.
Well, I can handle Granny. Where'd the boys go?
Into town to flirt with girls.
Well, that ought to keep them there a spell.
Come on, Duke. Hurry! Get up, you lazy bag of bones. We gotta track down that two-legged weasel that is trumped on the family honor. Here you are, Jed. Here, Miss Jane. Now just shoot to scare him. We want him to be able to stand up in front of the preacher.
Well, let's have Miss Jane take her car and look for the rascal in town.
Good hunting, Miss Jane. You know what he looks like, don't you?
Roger Wilco.
I hope she don't bring him back instead of Bo.
She won't. Now, Granny, you scour the country out back of the house, and I'll cover the other direction.
Can I take old Duke with me? My nose ain't what it used to be.
Good luck.
If I see him, I'll fetch him back. He might be limping a little, but he'll come.
What are you shooting, rock salt?
No, rice. It stings just as bad and hints at the same time.
Jethro, why did you come back so soon?
We wasn't doing too good, Miss Jane.
I got a awful wallop.
I'd have done fine if that hick hadn't been along.
Know something, Miss Hathaway? May it be, I just ain't cut out to be a sophisticated international playboy.
You can say that.
Oh, but you are. You both are. Handsome and intelligent, suave.
And loaded with candy. What do you reckon could have went wrong?
Of course. You don't have the one thing that immediately identifies an international playboy.
What's that?
Boutonnieres.
What'd you do? Eat 'em on the way out?
We don't stock 'em, Jeff.
I was referring to the flowers the debonair gentlemen wear in their buttonhole.
You mean if we was to go back and stand in front of your bank with them flowers, we'll do better?
I guarantee it. See you there. I'll see you later. Au revoir.
Well, yonder some flowers. Let's get picking.
Good. We're in time. Now, you know your assignments. If you carry them out convincingly, you not only get this afternoon off, but you may come in late tomorrow as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You don't have to worry about me. I go to acting school at night.
Fine.
Are you sure this will be all right with Mr. Drysdale?
I'll take full responsibility. Besides, Mr. Drysdale is out of town. Here they come, to your posts.
Howdy, ma'am. I'm a...
Sophisticated international playboy.
Yes, ma'am. See, Jethro, you don't even need the candy.
Dog! Howdy, ma'am.
Oh, I can't believe it. After all these months of waiting, and now, at last, destiny has brought me face to face with a sophisticated international playboy. Be still, my heart. Be still, my wildly beating.
Oh, knock it off.
Y'all want to go for a ride with us, playboys?
I'd love to.
How about you, ma'am? We can drive up to my Uncle Jed's and have a swim.
Well, it sounds wonderful, but we haven't any bathing suits.
Shucks, we'll buy you some.
Oh, we couldn't let you do that.
Listen, baby, you're with a couple of sophisticated international playboys. And he's got pert near $30 sewed into the lining of his suit.
Jethro. Pa said not to tell that to no Hollywood women.
But, Bo, they expect us to be big spenders.
Well, all right. I got $2 in silver. We'll blow that.
Listen, Playboys, we can stop by my place and get some bathing suits.
Okay.
Well, just for you three. I got one in my suitcase.
Howdy, ma'am. This here is Jed Clampett. I'd like to talk to Luke Short. Oh, he runs the general store back in Sibley. Sibley? Oh, that's just a couple of wagon greasings up the road from Buckner. Buckner? Well, yeah, that's just a hoot and a holler south of Mincy. Well, ma'am, Mincy is the county seat.
Come on, Bo. The girls is waiting.
Hey, Jethro, is that all you gonna wear?
Well, sure. This is what you wear for swimming in Beverly Hills.
Oh, well, then I ain't going up there with them girls.
This is what fellas wear. Doggone it, I forgot my flower. You go up and talk to the girls, and I'll go fetch it. Go on.
Oh, here comes one of our Playboys.
What's that you're wearing?
This here's a swimming suit.
You're kidding.
Oh? It's been hanging in Pa's store for a long time, but nobody could afford to buy it. It's a going-away present. He let me have it. For half price.
I think it's cute.
Who's that?
Howdy, Granny.
Bo shows you miserable two-time environment. What are you doing with them strange women? Where's your bride-to-be?
Oh, I ain't gonna marry Ellie Mae.
You ain't?
No, ma'am. I'm an international playboy. I belong to all women.
Well, I'm blowing off my chunk of your worthless hide right now.
Is that a fact? Well, Luke, I wonder how come Bo didn't say nothing. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Jethro didn't get seconds on brains neither. Well, no, Luke, that ain't thunder. Sounds more like Granny, but I don't know what she be shooting at. Oh, yes, I do. I'll call you back.
You hold him while I get some more rice. He's gonna marry Ellie if it's the last thing he ever does.
Granny, I just been talking to Luke Short. Bo didn't come out here to marry Ellie.
He didn't?
No, he come out here to be what they call inducted in the Army. He'll be down to some fort by 6 o'clock. We best get him on his way.
Hello, everybody. Jethro, you want one of the girls to ride up there with you?
Oh, no, that's all right, Bo. You're the one that's going in the Army.
Bye-bye. What I want to know is why he had to come all the way out here to get inducted.
Well, Luke says the Army couldn't take a chance on drafting him back home. The girls would have rioted.
Yeah. Bo always was looked on as the catch of the hills.